6 years ago, I was working an office job. I was working in the gambling industry, but I wanted to move into football as a scout and player recruitment analyst. I had no way in, no network, no technical skills, and no visibility. But fast forward to today, I've had multiple experiences at clubs across England, Scotland, and now working at one of the biggest football agencies in the world. If you want to do what I've done and change your career to work into football, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to switch your career, build the technical skills, develop the online portfolio, increase your visibility, and get your football network thriving so you can get opportunities to change your career into player recruitment and scouting. If you're stuck in a job that you're not passionate about and you want to move into recruitment analysis or scouting, this video is going to walk you through my journey, give you the roadmap on how you can get into football. So today I'm working at one of the biggest football agencies in the world, Unique Sports Group. I'm a data analyst scout that focuses on recruitment, performance analysis, and scouting players. Before that, I was working at multiple clubs in England and Scotland as a recruitment analyst and scout. I service our clients with data, insights, and scouting, as well as look for potential new clients for the agency. On top of that, I run my own membership community called the Recruitment Room that helps people like you who want to change their careers to work in football as recruitment analysts and scouts. But let me take you back to where it all started. I was working in the gambling industry as a football trader. That job came through whilst I was studying at university. It was a part-time job and it just grew and grew and grew. I went from a part-time trader to a full-time in-play trader to then a supervisor role across 5 to 6 years of working in that industry. It was a really great company to work for. I didn't hate my day job at all. I was very fortunate that I loved it. I was still around football and sport, and the people I worked with were great. However, I just had an itch that I wanted to scratch. My previous degree and my background was in sports coaching, and I did some work around performance analysis, but really at the time it wasn't for me, and that's why I ended up working in the gambling industry. But going from there and being in a role for 5 years and growing with the company, I really wanted to go and use my degree and my expertise in football and try working in the game. However, at the time I was stuck. I had lost a lot of the connections that I built through my university degree. I didn't have any technical skills around coding or using Tableau or even scouting experience at all. So from there, what I decided to do was start building my online portfolio. There was people online sharing their analysis and scouting work. They were posting insights that they were creating themselves and putting that out there online. And that was incredibly interesting to me. I saw people sharing work on EFL clubs, Nottingham Forest, the team that I support, as well as other clubs around the world, and I thought that was a really interesting way of developing your technical skills and starting to make some connections. At the time, I just thought this is something fun, so why not try and do it myself? And honestly, I was starting from the starting point of zero. I had no technical skills around any of the key things to do with analysis. All of the performance analysis stuff that I'd learned on my degree and my placements were completely irrelevant, and a lot of the technical skills I learned there were not translatable to player recruitment or scouting. So I had to go out there and ask people, where did they get data from? How do they analyze players? What tools do they use to create their visualizations and insights? And I was starting from zero, really. Lots of people I speak to also work in day jobs that they enjoy or they don't enjoy, but ultimately the pull of working in football is something that they're incredibly passionate about and they want to enjoy the job that they do. And that's why people move into football, and that was exactly the same for me. So working that day job was great. It was a comfortable job with a good salary, bonuses, people that I liked and people that I worked with were great, a good company culture, but there was a fear. It was a fear of me leaving this day job, going to a job where there's more risk involved in terms of your job security, leaving and moving to a job where there's more risk in terms of salary and compensation. Fortunately for me, I was very lucky to have a supportive partner and family that wanted me to go on this journey and try working in football. But it's not something for everyone. You have to weigh up these negatives and the pros and cons around why you want to move into football and be realistic around the salary and also the job security when it comes to working in football. So there was 3 myths that stopped me from making progress in the football industry sooner. The first one of those is that you needed to have played the game at a high level. Now, I played Saturday and Sunday league football. I was incredibly average when it comes to playing the game, and that stopped me. I felt like you had to to play the game at the highest level to make progress in football. The second myth was that I felt like you had to have all the badges, you need to have all of the experience and all the qualifications to even just create a scout report or create a visualization and put that out online and start talking to people about opportunities in football. And again, that's something that stopped me in my early days. And then finally, the last thing that stopped me, and is a huge myth, was actually you need to have a network in football to get going. You need people who can already get you opportunities. You need to know people who are already inside football. And I can assure you, whilst I was fortunate enough to have some experience in performance analysis, none of those connections were helpful to me 6-7 years later when I was trying to move into the football industry full time. So those are 3 myths that are completely untrue. So don't let them stop you from making progress on your journey, because I could have moved into the football industry certainly a lot sooner than when I did. There was honestly a reality of the things that I didn't know how to code. I'd heard of Python, I'd heard of R throughout my university degree, but I had no experience in either of those coding languages. I'd never heard of Tableau. I didn't know what Power BI was, and I had no experience in using these kind of tools. I had no scouting experience either. All of everything I learned in the world of football would really just come from my own experiences and through watching the game myself and some of my coaching qualifications. So for me, when I started seeing people sharing their work online, getting good feedback, making relationships with people in football, expanding their network, it was a mindset shift for me that people are sharing their work there online to not show off, to not go viral, but actually to help them develop technical skills, get feedback on their work, help them grow their network. And for me, that was then the mindset shift that allowed me to start sharing my work online and grow the online portfolio. And ultimately, without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I know the same is true for hundreds and dozens of other people who have gone on to get opportunities in football, or people who have expanded their network, or people who have got feedback to develop their technical skills. All of these things come from building your online portfolio. So instead of doing another course, and instead of sitting on my hands and waiting to make progress, I decided to start creating my own work. It started small. I wanted to create some football visualizations. I actually started with Excel, and if you want to start with Excel, you can do. I wouldn't recommend it. I think using tools like Tableau is a great way of getting started and is incredibly easy as well. But some of the first visuals that I shared, I look back on and cringe now, but it was a starting point from me. And from that moment there, I started building on that work, beginning to get feedback on that. Instead of going from scatter plots, I then went to bar charts, and then creating dashboards, and then creating pizza charts and radar charts. And then it just snowballed into recruitment plans and me wanting to create pieces of work that would get me noticed, that would combine a lot of the key technical skills for the kind of roles that I wanted. And that allowed me to get my name out there in front of more people. It allowed me to grow my football network with people who are on that same journey, but also people who are working in jobs that I wanted to be in, really. And that's the beauty of those pieces of work. Some of those pieces of work were recruitment plans that were focused on Nottingham Forest for 2 summers. I produced 60, 70, 80 page documents that were focused on Nottingham Forest, their current team, reviewing all their current players, all their loan players, and identifying signings that they should make. And these were the pieces of work that were starting to grab the attention of people at Forest and other football agencies, but ultimately led me to get opportunities in football. And still to this day, that decision I made around wanting to make my work public and build my visibility and portfolio is something that changed my life and ultimately changed my career. And before we continue, what I want to go on to is tell you about my free football career roadmap. So this roadmap maps out all of the actions that you need to take to change your career to work in football. We focus across specific key pillars. We'll give you access to resources that's going to help you on your journey. They're completely free, so you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to invest any money to get started. You don't need to do any courses. This roadmap goes through all of the actions and all of the steps that I took on my journey that members in the recruitment room take, and you can go through them yourselves completely for free. It's in the description below. I'll share the link, download it, and that's going to give you all of the steps that you need to take to change your career to work as a recruitment analyst or scout in the world of football. So just going back over those Forest recruitment plans, like these were bigger pieces of work that were there to showcase all of my technical skills that I developed over time in one place, from squad analysis to player rating models to identify players, to data visualization, to scout reports. All of these were in one place, combining multiple skill sets in one big piece of work. That's one way of going about it, and I think it's a great piece to do once or twice a year to combine all of your technical skills together. But as well as that, you can share things on your online portfolio through your development, your journey through learning a new technical skill. You could share scout reports, you could share an individual data visualization, but building on these things over time, really what gets you noticed. It wasn't just the Nottingham Forest recruitment plan, but it was the fact that I was showing up consistently online, sharing my insights, sharing my knowledge, my technical skills and my understanding for being a recruitment analyst and for being a scout. So yes, the recruitment plans got me noticed by some of the staff at Nottingham Forest. It was a really big enabler for me getting some opportunities in the game, which I'm really grateful for. But those one-off projects, pieces of work, which are great to do, was not the thing that got me a job in football. It was the consistency and showcasing my knowledge and my technical skills. So those recruitment plans ultimately led me to get some freelance work. I was very fortunate enough to get paid for some of this freelance work. To start off with, it was unpaid. I was working with players directly around them and their performances, and then it led to some football agencies wanted me to do work with some of their clients, produce dossiers for them to be pitched to new clubs or to get new contracts. And that started off the freelance work and where I was beginning to get paid, which was amazing and a great starting point. But I did do some work for free to get going. From there, I was then fortunate enough to make a connection with someone who actually also worked at Sky Bet at the time, who got an opportunity working at Wigan Athletic. And from there, they wanted to get me in as a recruitment analyst, and I was doing this part-time alongside my day job. And from there, I was a recruitment analyst. I was creating player rating model, doing data visualizations, and also going out and doing live and video scouting for players based in the Midlands, which is where I'm based. So that was then my first real part-time job where I was getting paid money to work in football, and it was a great experience. I wasn't there very long, but it was a sharp learning curve, and that really gave me the passion for me wanting to develop my technical skills further. So I decided to take a step back from Wigan and focus on my development, still working my day job at Sky Bet at the time. And from there, most people might think I was crazy to leave that role, but I felt like I needed to develop further. I needed to build my network further. I wanted to improve my technical skills and increase my visibility, and that just led to me posting more online, creating more insights and widening my niche to focus more on the EFL in general rather than Nottingham Forest. So I was looking at players that were playing at Notts County or Mansfield or in the bottom of League 2 to the top of the Championship, around players that would be suitable for transfers, players who were standing out in their leagues, in their positions, and really continuing to try and share my work online. And from there, I was lucky to get a full-time job working in Scotland at a Scottish club. I was working at Sky Bet, as I said, and from there to getting the opportunity with the Scottish team again came about through my online portfolio. The head of recruitment was aware of my technical skills. We'd never met before, but he knew about me, he knew my knowledge, he could see the skill set that I had, and again that was a really key moment in me getting that opportunity to go full-time in the football industry, because it was already trust that was built there. He already knew me. I was already at the forefront of his mind when it comes to looking at the candidates, because even though we hadn't built a formal relationship, there was an informal one there where they was aware of my technical skills and knowledge and understanding. And again, I think that then makes it easy for you to go on to get opportunities, because people have seen the work that you've already done and people have built trust with you. And then fast forward to today, again, where I'm working at Unique Sports Group. I've been here for over a year now, and it's been a great opportunity to learn what it's like working with football agents and working on the other side of the table when it comes to transfer deals. There are a lot of similarities, there are a lot of differences. If you'd like me to go into that further, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know what kind of things you'd like me to talk about when it comes to working in the club side or the agency side of the game. But it's been a great experience seeing how they use data, to seeing how we can identify players and improve everything when it comes to our clients and their understanding of data and their performances, to identifying new potential clients in the world of football. One thing I have learned since being in the industry, from working in clubs to working at football agencies, is that your communication is absolutely vital as a data analyst or as a scout. You need to be able to translate insights, you need to be a good communicator, you need to tell people the insights, the analysis, the actions that they need to take away in a very clear and concise manner, and you do that through trusts, relationships, and also your clear and consistent communication. What I will say is that I've become a much better data analyst and scout over the past 6 years. When I first started on this journey, I was incredibly naive. I was still new to it all. I'd never been out live scouting, and it just comes to show you that you can progress on this journey, and you will always be learning, you will always be evolving. You should never be stopping still. There's still a lot of learning and lots of things that I want to do in my career in football, but that's not a reason for me not to have started 6 years ago. It's not a reason for you not to start on your journey today as well. Everyone's journeys in football is different, especially if you're coming from another industry or another world where you don't have any experience in the industry. Does that make it a little bit harder? Yes. Does it mean that it's impossible? No. I work with over 50 members globally, from Australia to India to Guatemala, Brazil, America, Europe, people who work in all sorts of different careers, and they have gone on to get part-time, full-time opportunities working in football as scouts and recruitment analysts. And if they can do it, you can do it. I've done it myself, and that's why I built the Recruitment Room. The Recruitment Room is there to help you develop the technical skills, help you get the network that you need to build the visibility in football as well. We want to help you grow your online portfolio, and we want to help you land opportunities in football as well. So if that sounds something that's interesting to you, check out the link in the description, or go to recruitmentroom.co and you can apply there to join our next cohort. If I was starting today, here's what I'd do. I would be looking to develop the technical skills for the kind of roles that you want. My advice to everyone is go and find 2 or 3 different job descriptions for roles that you think are interesting. Paste them into AI or Claude, ChatGPT, or print them out and use a highlighter. Find the common key technical skills across those roles. They're the things that you want to develop. It'll come down to things like scouting, writing scout reports, understanding positional profiles. It'll come down to using telestration. If you're looking more of the analysis side of the game, it might be around creating data visualisations, player recruitment models, creating web applications perhaps. But find those key technical skills, and they're the things that you want to be learning over time. It's not going to be perfect when you get going, but start sharing that work online. When you share that work online, it's going to help you get feedback on your work and allow you to develop, but it's also going to help you build a network of people who are also interested in that area, but also connect with people who are already working in football, and that'll allow you to start growing that network, which is incredibly important, especially if you're coming from a different career or different region or different industry. Building that network in football is going to be even more vital for you. So develop the technical skills, start sharing it online and build your online portfolio, increase your visibility, build your network, and then it's about how can we put it all together and increase your employability. And that allows you to then go on to get opportunities, improve your CV, get experience in the industry, and then go on to get jobs in football. So if I was starting today, that's what I'd do. Again, head to the description below for the roadmap. It's completely free to download. It goes through all of the steps that I've been through today and more in detail. You get all the best free resources there as well, and that's the best place to get started on your journey.